When everyone believes, even lies feel true. How pseudoscience becomes truth inside coaching, wellness, and social media culture. The Coaching Room recently posted that when a group collectively agrees on something, that shared belief validates its truth. It sounds enlightened, but it is actually the perfect description of how pseudoscience survives. Because that is exactly how it works. The wellness, coaching, and influencer industries have built entire empires on collectively validated facades. The culture of manufactured truth. Within the world of modern coaching, spirituality, and conscious leadership, truth is no longer defined by evidence or verifiability. It is defined by agreement. If a group of coaches believe that you create your own reality, it becomes truth within that subculture. If they agree that emotions have vibrations that attract outcomes, that is accepted as fact. Truth is not discovered, it is decided. Inside those echo chambers, reality is whatever the group agrees to feel. They call it alignment. I call it collusion. Her world of truths. I watched someone I loved disappear into that mindset. She became the embodiment of this idea that truth is collective, that shared belief equals validation. Her world filled up with truths that only existed inside that circle of belief. Manifesting, fake, but true to her. Natural products, false, but true to her. Supplements, marginal benefit, but true to her. Reiki, fake, but true to her. Crystals, fake, but true to her. Kinesiology, fake, but true to her. Ayurveda, unscientific, but true to her. NLP, pseudoscience, but true to her. Integral leadership, pseudoscience, but true to her. Within that world, truth was not measured by evidence. It was measured by belief reinforced by community. When everyone around you believes the same thing, skepticism feels like ignorance and doubt looks like fear. The science they ignore. In the real world, the one governed by data, reproducibility, and falsifiability, pseudoscience collapses under scrutiny. Manifesting fails every control test. Reiki performs no better than placebo. Crystals have no measurable energetic properties. Tarot readings offer no predictive accuracy beyond chance. Tibetan singing bowls produce calming sounds, but no measurable healing effect. Grounding and earthing lack any credible physiological evidence. Affirmations alter mood, not reality. Chiropractors rely on outdated spinal theories unsupported by modern anatomy. Kinesiology cannot reliably identify anything beyond guesswork. Ayurveda is based on pre-scientific concepts of dosas, not biology. NLP has been tested and debunked repeatedly since the 1980s. Integral theory is philosophy with diagrams, not behavioral science. Spirituality, when turned into a system of claims about the material world, stops being faith and becomes fiction. None of these stand up once you remove the group validation loop. They only work inside cultures that equate belief with truth. How the coaching industry weaponizes belief. This is why pseudoscience finds a natural home in coaching. The industry rewards certainty of expression over accuracy of information. Coaches are taught to speak into truth, to trust intuition, and to align clients with higher purpose. It is not about evidence. It is about conviction. Once an idea resonates emotionally, it gets treated as self-evident. That is how frameworks like integral leadership gain traction. Not because they work, but because they sound true to people already primed to believe. The more people who agree, the more the system validates itself. Truth becomes democratic, voted into existence by those invested in its survival. The social media machine of modern pseudoscience. Social media has turned that same process into a billion-dollar business. Influencers now play the role of digital coaches and healers, crafting curated realities where pseudoscience flourishes in plain sight. They use parasocial relationships as emotional bait. You feel like you know them, so you trust them. You trust them, so you buy what they sell. Mallory DeMille summed it up perfectly. I will never not find it comically confusing when a wellness influencer's bio brags about healing, curing, and treating, but then goes on to say what they're sharing isn't medical advice. Girly, how are you allegedly helping so many people heal if what you're sharing isn't meant to be interpreted as medical advice? Your friendly reminder that wellness influencers bank on you taking medical advice from them even if they tell you not to. That, my friends, is the power of parasocial relationships and questionable testimonials in the wellness industry. This is how the game works. They disclaim responsibility while marketing belief. Whether it is coffee enemas, urine therapy, ice baths, essential oils, or manifestation rituals, influencers create microcultures where shared belief becomes truth. Their followers validate each other through likes, comments, and testimonials. Science becomes irrelevant when the algorithm rewards belief. Within these digital echo chambers, the same rule applies. If enough people agree, it becomes true. Science versus pseudoscience. The contrast is simple but often forgotten. SGT Scholar recently shared a post comparing science with pseudoscience, using a Halloween theme to make the point. Science is open to criticism, uses logic, tests its claims, explains uncertainty, and changes with new evidence. Pseudoscience is hostile to criticism, starts with conclusions, makes untestable claims, and resists change. It uses vague terms, oversimplifies complexity, and sells products and misinformation disguised as empowerment. It is the perfect map for understanding coaching, wellness, and influencer culture. They use the vocabulary of science while rejecting the discipline of it. They talk about energy, vibration, and quantum shifts but never test, measure, or validate. These industries survive by mimicking the language of credibility while discarding its methods. The culture of self-validation. In that world, evidence is optional and doubt is betrayal. You do not need peer review when you have a community of like-minded souls. You do not need to test claims when it worked for me. You do not need skepticism when truth is subjective. It is a perfect ideological bubble. Self-reinforcing. Immune to criticism. Financially profitable. The coaching room's model of collective validation is not an observation. It is a confession. It is the very mechanism by which pseudoscience becomes institutionalized under the banner of leadership, personal growth, and influencer marketing. The cost of believing your own story. For those inside it, it feels transcendent, a form of higher knowing. But step outside the ideology, and it looks like what it is, a belief system held together by emotional reinforcement and social pressure. When you build your identity around unprovable claims, your truth may feel sacred, but it is fragile. Because the moment reality pushes back, when the crystals do not heal, the supplements do not cure, or the leadership transformation fractures a marriage, the illusion starts to crack. That is when the believers turn away, not from the ideology, but from anyone who challenges it. To question it is to threaten their sense of belonging, the collective agreement that sustains their truth. The real world still exists. Outside that bubble, the scientific method continues quietly doing its job. Testing, disproving, verifying, refining. Truth in that world does not need validation through community. It earns credibility through evidence and replication. Belief does not make things true. Agreement does not make things real. And the louder an ideology insists that truth is subjective, the further it drifts from anything resembling it. The pseudoscientific paradox. The coaching room says, when a group collectively agrees on something, that shared belief validates its truth. They are right, but only inside their bubble. Outside of it, that same statement exposes the entire game. Pseudoscience survives because it feels true within its own culture. But feeling true is not the same as being true. That is the paradox. The more they try to validate their truth collectively, the more they prove it cannot survive independently.